guys fear going to the dentist? I personally don't mind it, but I actually don't get many problems with my teeth. I think I've had like one hole in total. But when I'm laying in that dentist chair and they bring over the tray of instruments, I always get a bit nervous. Like the thought of someone using a drill in my mouth is pretty scary. Usually, doctors and dentists are here to help you and heal you, but some actually want to kill you, and you don't even know it. And guys, that's why today we'll be taking a look at some of the worst surgeons, doctors, and dentists of all time. So guys, if you don't want any of your future surgeries to go horribly wrong, then make sure to like and subscribe. You'll know when you're a kid, you gotta get your kid teeth out, right? And if you do, the tooth fairy comes and gives you money. Well, this dentist might have been the tooth devil, because he just enjoyed torturing children and pulling out their teeth for fun. Take a look.
This devil right here is dentist Harold Schneider. He's famous for pulling out way more teeth than needed. He's worked on thousands of children and puts them in a straitjacket while they scream for their lives. This guy has literally choked children and laughed while doing it.
He choked me.
Some moms were so mad they showed up at his house to fight him, but all his charges were dropped because apparently he has a mental condition, and said he did all this because the government was paying for each tooth pulled.
He tied them up? What kind of dentist ties kids up? Like, that guy is weird. But like, why did the government also pay him for every tooth he pulls out? Like, he just abused that system and pulled out teeth left and right. Like, imagine your parents sending you there and then you come back with 0 teeth, while this guy just becomes a millionaire. I low-key think he's more suited to become one of those movie psycho serial killers. Like, I don't think any dentist needs to choke his clients. Let's hope he gets arrested, guys. Alright, so apparently it's not only dentists that act up sometimes. Imagine you get a sickness in your liver, or like kidney stones, and you gotta have him replaced. Like, that's already a pretty scary situation. But this surgeon did not make it any better. He actually burned his patient's organs with a laser. Like, he literally carved his name into them. Check it out.
He burned his initials onto the liver with a high-powered laser. Then he sewed up the patient and acted like nothing had happened. But a week later, the new liver started to fail. The patient went back in, but this time she was treated by a different doctor, and he soon found the initials inside. The surgeon admitted it wasn't the first time he'd branded a patient, and he eventually lost his medical license.
Now, like, how do you think that's a good idea? You're literally burning an organ. I did some research, and apparently he was fined $10,000. Because apparently the organs worked fine. But like, I think it could have gone so much worse. Like, that's gotta cause some kind of damage though. It could have probably become cancerous or something. Good thing his medical license got revoked. Would you guys want your surgeon to burn his name into your organ? Comment down below. Speaking of comment, guys, let's make burned organs the word of the day. Okay, this next one is actually disturbing. I get so bad, I probably can't even show this on YouTube. But let's try anyways. Y'all know those old celebrities, like older actresses and stuff? Some of them just look weird, right? Well, it's actually because they've had plastic surgery to look younger. Like, have you guys seen Kris Jenner? Can you believe she's 70? What? Plastic surgery is kinda crazy, right? Well, it can also go crazy wrong. Take a look.
For the past few months, this sort of video has been going viral on TikTok and creeping a lot of people out, and I totally understand why. Dr. Kim, apparently a plastic surgeon, has been doing plastic surgeries in people in Asia. And apparently people are flying from all parts of the world to get these plastic surgeries with Dr. Kim. Some of the results are quite okay, while others are really, really creepy. This is at least what's getting a lot of attention from these videos and the extreme results. But because of the extreme results, several theories started to arise. For instance, take a look at this woman. She's supposed to be 7 years old, but her hands, they don't look 7 years old. There's something wrong with this video. And it's not just this video. So people started coming up with the craziest of theories. Is it AI generated? Are they wearing masks? Or is there something far more sinister going on here? What's your take?
How's that even legal? Like, it looks like they have tape strapped to their faces. That's just horrifying. Like, their faces just got stretched out. I mean, they do look younger, but I don't know if they really look human anymore. Maybe it's better when they recover, but right now they kinda look like aliens. Okay, do you guys wear glasses? I've actually always had really good vision, but most people get bad vision anyways when they get older. When I do, I'll probably use contact lenses. I think I'll look a bit too much like that nerd emoji if I get glasses. Like, some people look really good in glasses though, but I really don't think I'm one of them. But y'all, there's this one thing about contact lenses, is that you gotta replace them every day. Well, this woman took that a little too literally. Check it out.
The lenses were peeled from her eye, one by one. You see, for weeks, the woman had been putting in her contact lenses, but she forgot to take out the old pair each time, and they rolled to the back of her eyes. When they inspected the woman's eye, they were shocked to find a dark purple blob under her eyelid. The doctor eventually pulled out 23 pairs of contact lenses with a Q-tip. She avoided permanent damage, but went right back to wearing the contacts again.
Ew, that must have been so uncomfortable. Like, imagine having a stack of lenses in the back of your eye like that. That's so bad. But how do you even forget to take them out after the third one? Won't they just stack on top of each other and make your vision weird? I don't know how it works, honestly. Alright, let's go back in time. Specifically for 1800s. You guys know how they didn't even have soap and stuff back then, right? You might ask yourself, what could surgeons even do back then? Well, amputations. Yeah, like cutting off arms and legs. That's basically all of it. And this guy somehow had a 300% mortality rate. And what that means is that he killed 3 people when he was only operating on 1. How does that even happen? Well, take a look.
This is the only known surgeon to have ever operated with a 300% mortality rate. His name is Robert Lister, and he mainly operated in the 1800s when anesthetic was still a dream. In case that wasn't enough, this was also the era before antibiotics, which is why in Florence Nightingale's notes on nursing, she wrote that a surgeon's success will be directly proportional to his quickness. But as many of us may be painfully aware of, finishing quickly isn't always a good thing. You see, while intentionally cutting his patient's leg off in a rapid 2.5 minutes, he actually cut off his assistant's fingers and in the meantime actually cut the coattails of a surgical observer who thought that his organs had been cut and then later died of shock. All while both his patient and his assistant died from infection. This made his operation on 1 have a fatality count of 3. Otherwise, he was a good surgeon, losing around 1 in 10 patients when the average was 1 in 4. Would you let him operate?
That's a crazy accident. I guess it's really hard to prevent infections when you have no disinfectant or antibiotics. Only 1 in 10 patients died from the rest of his surgeries though. That's a pretty good rate for that time. Good thing he can only kill his assistant once. Y'all know about Germany during World War II, right? The certified bad guys of history, literally like the villains from the movies. Especially this doctor who did the most horrifying experiments on his patients. Since the Nazis didn't consider Jews to be human, he did whatever he wanted to them. And y'all won't believe the horrifying acts he committed. Watch this.
The most terrifying doctor in human history disguised torture as science. And he was never held responsible for his actions. The year was 1943 in Nazi-occupied Poland. A man in a spotless white coat stood at the gates of Auschwitz, clipboard in hand, smile on his face, and a single motion of his finger decided life or death. His name was Josef Mengele, but they called him the Angel of Death. He was obsessed with twins, with eyes, with how the human body breaks. Children were his test subjects, mothers, the unborn. When the war ended, he vanished. Argentina, Brazil. A ghost in paradise. Mengele died free, but his victims still whisper his name.
He never got punished? I guess you could just flee your country back then. I hope that at least he rots in hell for eternity. He literally sounds like a supervillain from a video game or something. Like, that stuff was bone-chilling. Alright guys, you know how you just get put to sleep when you're doing a major surgery? Like, I'm so glad we have that technology so people don't have to be awake while they're getting their lungs swapped or something. I think that would hurt so bad. But guys, apparently anesthesia isn't perfect. This patient was actually awake, but he could not move a finger while being able to feel the pain. Check it out, guys.
The man behind me is Sherman Sizemore, and in 2006, he went under the knife in order to inspect some abdominal pain. During surgery, patients will receive two different types of anesthesia. One of these is a paralytic to prevent the patient from moving, and the other one causes a loss of consciousness and also prevents pain. The first bit of anesthesia, which causes paralysis, was successful for Sherman. However, the second one was not. This is called anesthesia awareness, and this is when the patient is awake but is unable to move during surgery. So the patient feels every single bit of the pain, but they're pretty much just a prisoner inside of their body. Sherman experienced this for 16 minutes before doctors finally realized that he was actually awake. From here, they gave him something to cause memory loss, so when Sherman woke up, he wasn't exactly sure what happened, but he knew that something severely wrong had happened. After his surgery, he would wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares of people burying him alive. He had PTSD and anxiety. And then only a few weeks later after this surgery, he took his own life.
Oh my god, if that was me, I'd also be traumatized. That's so scary. Like, imagine your body knows that someone just messing with your organs, but you can't remember it. I feel like it would have been better if he remembered. At least he'd have an explanation for himself. Alright, this last one is for the girlies. Y'all know how you get older, you gotta get your check out. I think they're called gynecologists. I've only been to one like twice in my life, and the doctor was fortunately a woman. Well y'all, I'd never trust a male one, especially after watching this. Check it out.
Behind me is Dr. Nikita Levy. He was a gynecologist for around 25 years. He worked at Johns Hopkins, and in 2014, he was caught for something extremely disturbing. For those that don't know, gynecologists specialize in managing conditions that affect the female's reproductive system. And gynecologist Dr. Nikita Levy had a camera that was built into a pen that he would use while he was inspecting patients. After this was discovered, they searched his home where they found around 1,200 videos and 140 different photos of patients throughout the years that he had been working. This case awarded $190 million to get this 8,000 different patients that had been working with Dr. Nikita Levy. Days after this entire discovery of how many photos and videos that he had, Dr. Nikita Levy took his life.
Ew, what a disgusting pervert. Like, why do you need 8,000 videos anyways? I hope he wasn't selling them. Like, that would be so disgusting. I'm not gonna say he deserved to die, but like, he's kind of the creepiest of all creeps. Vanilla Beans, if y'all have a male gynecologist, he's probably normal, but like, watch out for cameras if you don't want to end up like with your on the internet. Alright Vemi, that means that was all I had for you guys today. If y'all liked the video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you're feeling generous, leave a comment. It really helps the video get pushed in the algorithm and makes more people watch my vids. And as always, stay safe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye!